Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. A trucking company finds itself dangling over the edge of a default judgment, and honestly, it's a miracle they even managed to log in for court. With unanswered discovery, unpaid legal fees, and a lawyer withdrawing at the very last second, it's a circus. But that's just the warm-up. The company president is stumbling through answers with all the confidence of someone who crammed the wrong exam. The judge, catching every misstep and possibly an eye roll, doesn't hesitate to remind everyone that confusion and excuses won't cut it. If chaos had a courtroom setting, this would be it.
Are we waiting for anyone else?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Nunez has actually just now, 1 hour ago, filed his motion to withdraw. He's also filed a motion for continuance. And I understand that I had thought he had already forwarded the court his motion to withdraw, but I guess he hasn't. And my guess is that he's moving for the continuance so that the default doesn't occur while he is still counsel. I can't agree to the continuance, but I'm not going to oppose it. I've been in cracks before as a young lawyer, and I don't want him to feel like he may get sued over this one. So I'll let you use your judicial discretion. I've sent the affidavit of my client's damages. The motion will be ready. Since Mr. Nunez is not here, I will tell the court the affidavit, if he can test it, which I didn't think he would because I thought he was going to withdraw beforehand, is likely inadmissible because it was not filed 7 days before the hearing. So his not withdrawing puts me in a mess on my evidence as well.
Did you get an email from Mr. McElroy on the affidavit? Do I don't have? Yeah, I do have. Let me see.
Checking.
Go ahead, Udi.
I'm checking.
Okay.
Your Honor, we sent it earlier this morning. I want to say it was around 10 or 10:30. My client had some difficulty coming in, and that's why we're filing it just before the hearing.
Okay. Okay. Who is in the Zoom that's named Lance? Who's present there?
GX3 Logistics President Isela Rodriguez. I'm Lance Miller, Vice President, and then we have Erica, who is our compliance safety.
Okay. So, you're aware of Mr. Nunez's motion to withdraw, sir?
We weren't aware of it. There was a discussion between the president of the company, Isela, this morning, and he kind of was like, well, because we asked him questions about what's taken, why this is this way, why this, and he basically said that he wanted to withdraw. I didn't know that he did. I expected, I guess, to see him on here today.
Who's speaking?
Miss Rodriguez.
Me, I'm Gisela Rodriguez.
What did you say? I didn't hear what you said. You said something out loud.
Oh,
I just
she
heard it.
expected to see him here. Yeah.
I'm sorry, she expected to see him here?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the motion hasn't been granted, and usually he's still in the case until I order he's out. So I would have expected him to be here as well. Mr. Baron, can you give Mr. Nunez's office a call and see if he's gonna jump on? I haven't granted his motion.
Yeah, Judge, I sent you a Teams message.
Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, it's the message I'm receiving is he's gonna be on in a little bit. Okay. And Udi, did you find Mr. McElroy's email?
Not yet, Judge. I'm still working on.
Oh, I just found it.
Is
Well,
it
you
the
sent it to me.
affidavit?
Yeah. Yeah, you sent it to me. It was sent at 12:04. Is Mr. Tell me again, Mr. McElroy, how this motion to withdraw and motion for continuance impedes your ability to present the case?
It doesn't, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
I've got my affidavit ready, and if you want to enter the judgment, the affidavit covers not only all the element of damages that have been pled within the petition, but also the evidentiary foundation for those elements of damages. And as you know, the most important one is the mental anguish aspect, which requires some kind of physical manifestation of stress or injury, which is contained in the affidavit.
One more, let me just check one more thing. I did get your affidavit. And then yeah, this has been an ongoing thing. I'm just looking back on my notes. Okay. So, Mr. Nunez, I've seen your motion continue and your motion withdraw. My notes reflect that we've been talking about problems in communications, just generally speaking, since November. Yes?
I believe that was the last hearing that was held, Your Honor, back in November. I did speak with my client. They're not opposed to it, Your Honor. They are seeking to retain other counsel if needed. However, that is the basis of our motion that we filed today for the continuance as well as the withdrawal, Your Honor. I think it's in the best interest of my client to be able to better prepare for this hearing with a retained counsel, Your Honor. They haven't met their financial burden as well, Your Honor. That is the reason for our withdrawal.
And Your Honor, if before Mr. Nunez does withdraw, I would like to point out that discovery has been unanswered and totally neglected ever since the beginning of this lawsuit. And I still don't know if there is employer's risk insurance that would cover a discrimination case.
And that's a conversation we had in October. That's what my notes reflect. That we've been talking about those issues since October.
And Your Honor, and just for the sake of my client, I mean, we tried to mediate this back, I want to say about a year and a half ago, 2 years, Your Honor, through the EEOC. My understanding is that there was insurance as well as anything in regards to discovery. I mean, they've had it for about 2 years already, Your Honor. I mean, they've had everything that we have in our possession, and we turned that over 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, when we went through mediation with the EEOC.
That's incorrect, Your Honor. The EEOC position statement is not responses to discovery. Mr. Nunez did represent at the EEOC that there was insurance that would be available to cover this. We have yet to be provided with a copy of the declarations page of the insurance policy. We have yet to be given a copy that shows what the policy limits are or what the extent of coverage is, whether or not there are any exclusions. We don't even know the identity of the carrier.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you meant. I didn't understand your explanation, Mr. Nunez, about some communication involving the EOC. You know, that even if that were provided or a report or not sure if it would even be admissible, let alone responsive to discovery that's been put out. As I'm sure you're aware of that. So I'm not sure what that was supposed to solve. How long have you been on this case, Mr. Nunez?
Your Honor, since we did try to mediate initially with the EEOC, Your Honor, and then after that, there was some communication lost. Then when they got served, I went ahead and emphasized that I would help them out with the response until a retainer was met. After that, no retainer was given. That is why we're here today, Your Honor. Hence, the basis for the motion to withdraw, Your Honor. And in the interest of justice for my former client, I did file the motion for continuance so that they may be able to better prepare for this hearing.
Well, we put out notice of this hearing since November 19th. And you only filed a motion to withdraw and continuance today.
And I did go ahead and I believe it was notified to the court that we were going to withdraw.
Yeah, but giving me a heads up doesn't make it happen. You need to file your
Right.
motion. You didn't file it till today.
We tried to resolve it, Your Honor. I did speak to my client today, hence why we
And they just finished before you jumped on. They said that they were expecting you to be here. They did say they spoke to you today. So I'm not gonna really go too deep into whatever that conversation was, but this petition was filed in February. So you've been on at least that long, and you said you were on since the EOC level. Look, I feel like I want to move forward because we've been spinning our wheels with this.
and Your Honor,
Since well, let me finish my sentence. Since you defended at the EOC level, makes me believe you were familiar with underlying facts. And I think contractual problems you may have had with your client, those should have been addressed before the day of this hearing.
and I understand what the court is saying, Your Honor. I completely do. I just do believe that continuing with the hearing today, I mean, if the court wants to continue immediately, we can reset it for a day or two, so I might sit with my client and go ahead and prepare, because they have an interest in this case, Your Honor, and if the court's gonna want me to continue on it, it's gonna be a disservice to the client, Your Honor. Just being.
I'm not the one who's
No, and I
has
understand.
the service to the client. I don't think that was me. I gave notice a month
No.
ago.
And
And go ahead.
I'm not saying the court, Your Honor. I'm just saying, in general, if the court would like me to continue on the case, I just ask them maybe for a day reset, Your Honor, so that we can prepare for today's hearing, because we're not ready to proceed, Your Honor.
All right, let me hear from the client. Part of the rule of withdrawing. What was your name, sir, again? Lance what, sir?
Lance Miller,
And what is your position with the company?
Vice President.
And the woman in front of you is the president?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, who would like to address the court?
I can address the court.
Okay. So let's go on the record here, please. Let me
Yes.
just memorialize this. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet.
And Your Honor, I've never even met Mr. Miller before. I didn't even know there was a vice president with the company, Your Honor.
Okay, who have you been speaking to then?
With the president off and on.
What is your name, ma'am?
Gisela Rodriguez.
Okay, then you're the one who's gonna answer here. You're the one with firsthand knowledge. You ready? The court calls 2023 DCV 3802, Alex Sanchez versus GX3 Logistics, Inc. May I have an announcement of counsel, please?
Jeff McElroy with Lovett Law Firm on behalf of the plaintiff, Alex Sanchez.
And Leonel Nunez on behalf of GX3, Your Honor.
Okay, good morning, or good afternoon. We're here this afternoon to consider a post-answer default judgment and the evidence and the burden to be established by the plaintiff. Today we received a motion for continuance and a motion withdraw filed by Mr. Nunez. We are conducting this proceeding on the Zoom teleconference program, and we are streaming live on the YouTube channel of the 41st District Court. And we're doing this in compliance with the rules of civil procedure and the directives provided by the Supreme Court. I am presiding over this matter while physically located at the El Paso County Courthouse. We also have on the Zoom teleconference representatives from GX3 Logistics, to include Ms. Gisela Rodriguez, the president of the company. So the first thing that we're considering, I guess we consider them in conjunction, is the motion withdrawn and the motion for continuance filed by Mr. Nunez. Off the record, before we proceeded, he articulated the same reasons contained in his motion to be at issue on his request to withdraw, and would like to pursue the continuance of today's hearing to allow GX3 Logistics some opportunity to find additional counsel or substituted counsel. So Ms. Rodriguez, Gisela Rodriguez, can you please raise your right hand? Did you just roll your eyes?
Oh,
Did you just roll your eyes?
no.
No? Okay. Do you solemnly swear to speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, lower your hand. Ma'am, what is your full name?
Gisela Leonor Rodriguez Peniche.
You can lower your hand. What is your position with this company, GX3 Logistics?
I'm the president, I'm the owner of the company.
What kind of company is it?
It's a trucking company.
Okay, and you know who Mr. Alex Sanchez is?
Yes, he drive for this company.
Okay. Now, Mr. Nunez has said that he dealt with you in working with you on this case. He has filed a motion to withdraw. Before we started on the record, you or your colleague, Mr. Lance Miller, said that that you guys had a conversation with Mr. Nunez and that you expected him to be here, and he is present here today. So the rules require that you can have a say, or you can give me your thoughts on whether the lawyer can withdraw, or you can let me know how you would like to proceed. I do not want to know what exactly was spoken about between you and Mr. Nunez. That would be inappropriate for me to know. All I'm asking is, what would your plans be on how to continue with this lawsuit procedurally, with representation and those sorts of things?
So yes, I speak with Mr. Nunez today, and we speak about he will be here, and we will check if he will stay with in this case or no. So, but because I need to check the money that I need to pay, for this, and I need to take a decision, and I want to check in, what I need to do with this lawsuit, and if I can represent myself, so hiring somebody else, trying to find some help, because in my opinion is, too much time that I have this problem. So I want to resolve this situation as soon as possible.
So does that mean you want to find another lawyer?
Yeah, I need to check, I don't know who explain, ¿cómo se dice? Los gastos, expenses.
Expense?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you have a debt obviously owed to Mr. Nunez. And are you trying to tell me that you can't afford to get another lawyer? Is that what you're saying, or what are you saying?
I want to, because it's so many time for this case, so I don't really, for be honest with you, I don't understand what Alex Sanchez, Mr. Alex Sanchez wants. So I want to understand, and Mr. Nunez and I will speak in the morning, because it's too much time that already passed. So I already finished the money and I paid to him. So he is here now for check in what part the case is now, for check his honoraries. I need to check if can I pay to him, all the money that he needs for keep with me or no.
Now, Mr. Nunez, is there a contracts problem or not?
There is, Your Honor. They had only initially hired for the EEOC portion, Your Honor. This next time around, I went ahead and just assisted them in the response, Your Honor. So that is
You
the reason,
have a contract.
not for this portion, that's why, Your Honor.
Okay, and okay, so then let me ask it this way. Your original contract was specifically for the EOC.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So
And sorry, Your Honor, and I do believe that she did just say that they were gonna try to see if they could also do this pro se, if they could do it themselves, but I think that would be the best way to move forward, Your Honor.
they cannot, they're a corporation, they can't represent themselves. So Miss Rodriguez, the issue is that you don't have a working contract with Mr. Nunez to handle the lawsuit. There's two levels, the EEOC level, that's one forum, and then the second one is the litigation, which is in court. And Mr. Nunez I don't know if you followed along, but Mr. Nunez just explained how you don't have a contract for his services for the litigation part of it. The other part of it is that you cannot represent yourself because that would be illegal. Corporations have to have lawyers. They cannot be represented by an employee or an officer of the corporation. So you need to make some decisions here. I would like to go forward with this, with the evidence. Today's hearing was to have what's called a post-default judgment, post-answer default judgment. And that's based on the lack of participation in litigating this case. There's certain things that need to happen by both sides to move a case forward. And when one side doesn't do the things they need to do, the other side can seek a default judgment. But I have to hear the evidence. You know, I have to make sure that the evidence supports the allegations made against the party. So that's what today was about. It's got like a little mini trial with me to support the default judgment due to GX3 Logistics non-participation in the lawsuit. And by that, I mean answering discovery, appearing at all hearings, having your representative communicate with Mr. Sanchez's representative, the lawyers. You know, a lot of things have to happen. And that's why corporations and even people in complex cases have to have lawyers, because otherwise there are consequences.
Yeah.
And to include losing a case. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the mistake was the Mr. Nunez, and I don't know that we have other meetings before, and I'm here, but I don't know exactly in what point we are. So that's why, when I receive the notification in the office, I don't receive an emails about this case, and I don't receive nothing, just in the office that we are now. We received the letter. That's why I know that we have a court today. So, but actually I put in my calendar but I don't receive the link and nothing. He sent it to me. So that's why I'm here, because I need to know in what step we are, because I don't have good communication, and I was not invited to other appointments. I don't know, another meetings that we have in this case before. So that's why I'm here, because I really need to fix the situation, and I really need to know what I need to do. What is the next step? If I need to find somebody found somebody else will help me, I will do it. So
how long will it take you to contract with another lawyer?
Oh, no, I have a lawyer that I need to speak with him today. So for give it to him this case and all the proofs that we have everything here, but I need to speak with him today.
So you have a lawyer already?
Yeah, I have a lawyer.
Who is your lawyer?
Ed Bond, Mr. Edward.
Okay. And you think he will help you in this lawsuit? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know Mr. Bunt, Mr. McElroy? You're on mute, sir. You're on mute.
I'm sorry. I do know Ed Bunt. He used to punt for UTEP, and he was Victor Firth's partner for many years.
Correct.
And I think, the big question mark still hanging over my head is if they had answered discovery, and if there's an insurance policy, that insurance will provide a defense. I'm still left without knowing if there's coverage, but if Mr. Bunn does come in, I'm sure that's something he'll communicate to me very quickly. Mr. Nunez continued to represent there was coverage, and again, I never saw any proof of coverage. The client did not appear at the EEOC mediation, only Mr. Nunez. So the EEOC mediator, who was very sympathetic to our case, not that that's evidence, but was asking him to provide insurance as early as then. So that's a caveat. If Ms. Rodriguez does not know if she has insurance or not, it may be that she does not need to pay Mr. Bunn. She might just need to turn this over to her carrier.
Right. I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to grant the motion to withdraw. I don't know what's happening on how we keep fumbling this lawsuit, but I think eliminating part of the issue will smooth it out. I'm going to reset this for 30 days. So that will take us past the holiday time off and things like that into mid-January. By then, I want Mr. Bunt to decide whether he's going to help GX3 Logistics and make an appearance in this lawsuit. I cannot emphasize enough, Ms. Rodriguez, you need a lawyer. You cannot do this on your own. And if Mr. Bunt, you seem confident that Mr. Bunt will be able to jump in, he has to do what's called make an appearance. That's a thing he files in court and says, I'm Ed Bunt and I represent GX3 Logistics from this point forward. And within those 30 days, he's going to become familiar with this lawsuit. It won't take very long to figure out what the issues are. And he will communicate with Mr. McElroy. All those things have to happen before the next hearing in January. And it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a default judgment hearing unless I hear otherwise from Mr. McElroy and your lawyer. And what that means is that on that day, I'm going to hear evidence on whether Mr. Sanchez is going to win this lawsuit based on his affidavit, based on whatever evidence Mr. McElroy chooses to present to me. And if I find that there's sufficient evidence to support a judgment, I'm going to have a judgment against you for the amount of money that he says he suffered. So there's a lot going on that you need to make sure Mr. Bunt is going to help you. Do you understand, Ms. Rodriguez?
I understand.
Okay, so I'm going to grant the motion for continuance for 4 weeks. I'm going to grant the motion to withdraw. Is there anything further, Mr. McElroy?
Nothing, Your Honor. I would put the court on notice at this point that given the fact that this is basically our 4th hearing from the court without any progress, and since the court did suggest the post-answer default at the last hearing, I will likely seek attorney's fees sanctions at the next hearing, whether or not we proceed with the default judgment.
Understood. Anything further, Mr. Nunez?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Rodriguez, do you have any questions?
No, thank you, and I'm so sorry about that.
Okay, you have to stay on it then, okay? All right, then at this can you do me a favor, Ms. Rodriguez? Let me
Yes.
see, hold on. Let me check, make sure, because we're
Yes.
gonna be sending you correspondence on the next Zoom hearing that you need to give to Mr. Bunt.
Yes.
And
And Judge, I have an initial appearance in federal court. May I be excused?
yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
See, I don't have your the motion doesn't even contain it. What is your email? If you could, do you have access to your chat? I don't see a keyboard. Maybe you, Mr. Miller, you have a keyboard in front of you. Can you put on the chat the appropriate email address so we can send you the Zoom link? And Mr.
Yeah.
McElroy can see it as well?
Sorry, I couldn't see the chat in there.
Okay. Mr. McElroy, do you see that?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm actually taking a picture of it with my camera. Thank you.
Okay, Woody, do you have it? G.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna send you, Ms. Rodriguez, the next Zoom link to that address. You give that to Mr. Bunn along with everything else in the case.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you so much. Yes, thank you.
All right, then if there's nothing further at this time, we are adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, sir.
That hearing was a mess from start to finish. Legal consequences didn't just come knocking, they practically kicked the door in. Corporations need lawyers, judges expect answers, and lawsuits don't pause for confusion, excuses, or unpaid legal bills. Because here's the truth. When your lawyer's trying to pull a Houdini act when the money dried up, and you're rolling your eyes at the judge, and discovery is still a mystery, you're not exactly setting yourself up for success. What do you think? Was this case always a disaster waiting to happen? And should the judge have slammed the gavel harder, or was a 30-day lifeline too generous? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more gripping courtroom moments. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.